all my fight fans? So, Canelo Alvarez had recently commented on David Benavidez and the possibility of him being next to fight for the 168 undisputed belts. Well, it didn't seem like it was going to happen in May like we all want it to be. Canelo Alvarez, before I get into that, David Benavidez had pretty much, we already know, has been campaigning at 168 for quite some time, fighting guys like David Lemieux, Caleb Plant, and one hell of a victory over Demetrius Andrade. And yeah, he's been pretty much doing what he can to get a shot at Canelo Alvarez. Has been pretty much doing interviews, has been commenting nonstop, trying to get his chance at Canelo Alvarez. Well, Canelo Alvarez pretty much has said that he is the king. David Benavidez wants him to vacate those belts because, yeah, of course, David Benavidez wants to become champion himself, which I understand. I understand to that certain point, absolutely. You're fighting that division, and the person is holding all the belts is Canelo Alvarez. Well, due to boxing politics, Canelo Alvarez can call the shots because he is a big name. He is the A side of every fight that he goes into, and he is still defending his belts. It's just not against who we necessarily want it to be. Canelo Alvarez has pretty much laid on the table that, not necessarily laid on the table, excuse me. He didn't necessarily lay on the table, but it's rumored that the 3 fights that Canelo Alvarez is quite possibly going to be facing in May is either Munguia, the other Charlo, I think it's Jamal, because he did compete with Jamel, and quite possibly a super fight showdown with Terence Crawford. I've heard Canelo Alvarez talk about Terence Crawford. It's not really so much something that he's necessarily want to do, which I agree with. It won't be a big fight for him because he sees Terence Crawford coming up 2 or 3 weight divisions, and if he beats him, it's just something that Canelo Alvarez is supposed to do. It's a lose-lose for Canelo. If he beats him, he beat a 147 pounder. If he loses really big to a 147 pounder. So it's not necessarily a win-win. The fight that I can see quite possibly happening is either Munguia or Charlo. Because we already know he competed against the other brother Charlo, so there's some story there. There's some history there. And as far as Munguia goes, again, both these fights are not necessarily the big fights, the money fights, the fights that we really want to see. But on the other hand, Canelo Alvarez also did say that he will be opening to fight David Benavidez in September. So it's not a complete no and 100% not going to be on the table. Just not right now or not as soon as we want it to be. I'm a big Canelo Alvarez fan. 100%. I am a huge Canelo Alvarez fan. He is definitely my favorite fighter right now. But even I would say that it would be very bad for Canelo Alvarez's career and legacy if he does not take on someone like David Benavidez towards the end of his career. Because if he's come or more doing the likes of like only taking on easy fights and fights that he should win, then yes, I really don't agree with him being 100% carrying all the belts just for himself. I do feel like he should vacate him and maybe even go up to a different division or, fight somebody else. Let the division work its way. Let other fighters become champion. Let someone else become undisputed. Because it would look like he's ducking him. Now, Canelo Alvarez has earned the right to do whatever he wants to do. He has fought everybody. When I hear, and I've argued this plenty of times, when I hear Canelo Alvarez is overrated or Canelo Alvarez only picks and chooses fights, no. Canelo Alvarez has fought the best of the best. Some of them, yes. Not exactly the exact time we didn't want them to. But again, I mentioned this in a previous video. You're never going to find that in any other fighter's career. Every other fighter fought someone where we wanted them to fight them sooner, but they didn't. They didn't. Some have, some haven't. It's just the way it is. But Canelo Alvarez never ducked anybody. He's always taken on every single person, especially at 168. And I do feel very strongly that he will face David Benavidez in the near future. Now, I know what some people might be saying too. He might try to wait him out. Promise you that's not what he's trying to do, because David Benavidez is only going to get better and Canelo Alvarez is only going to get older. So he knows, Canelo Alvarez knows, if he's going to take on David Benavidez, it has to be soon. Not a lot sooner than later. Because, again, he is only getting older. David Benavidez is only getting better. So I do feel Canelo Alvarez sees the star power rising for David Benavidez, sees his name rising, and is going to take him on 100%. So, guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think about his choices in opponents? I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez, his choices in his words, saying that he is the king. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.